In a village, near green fields, lived a poor farmer named John. He worked hard on another man's land to feed their small family. His wife, Mary, and their 2 children, Tom and Lily. Every morning, after breakfast, John left for work. Life was not easy, but they were happy together. One night, John came home looking worried. He sat silently by the lamp. Mary asked worriedly,
"What's wrong, John?"
He took a deep breath.
I lost my job today. The landlord said. He can't keep me anymore.
Mary's eyes widened.
Oh no.
John stared at the floor.
I've worked there for years.
She said gently.
Don't lose hope. You're hardworking. Something better will come.
John glanced at their children, sleeping peacefully in the corner.
I just want them to have a good life.
Mary touched his hand.
They will.
The next morning, John sat quietly outside their small house. Suddenly, his eyes brightened. He rushed inside.
Mary. I just remembered. My grandmother used to make jam. Maybe we can try that. And sell it in the market.
Tom's eyes lit up.
Jam?
Lily jumped excitedly. Mary smiled.
It's a nice idea. But we don't have money for fruits and sugar.
John said.
We'll go to the forest and pick wild fruits.
Mary nodded.
All right.
The next morning, the family took baskets and walked to the forest.
Remember,
John said.
Pick only the ripe ones.
They spent hours picking, talking, and joking, until their baskets were full. When they returned home, everyone was tired but smiling. That night, Mary washed the fruits, while John lit the stove. As the mixture boiled, the kitchen filled with a rich, sweet smell.
Smells delicious,
Mary said. John smiled.
Tomorrow we'll taste it and see how it turns out.
They worked late into the night, before finally going to bed. The next morning, the family gathered around the pot. John carefully lifted the lid. A little puff of steam escaped. Inside, the jam gleamed a deep red color. Tom's eyes widened.
Wow!
Mary dipped a spoon and tasted it.
It's sweet and thick.
Lily clapped her hands. Tom took a spoonful and shouted with joy.
It's perfect!
John smiled.
It's time to fill the jars.
They bought empty jars from the market and filled them carefully. Lily wrote a label. Granny's homemade jam. On Sunday, they pushed a small cart to the village market.
Fresh homemade jam!
Tom called out. People gathered to taste it. and soon every jar was sold. John counted the money with tears of joy. Days turned into weeks, and John's jam became popular in the village. People loved its sweet, natural taste. Every Sunday, his small cart sold out before noon. Mary smiled proudly.
Everyone talks about your jam, John. I'm so happy for you.
John grinned.
Yes. It's just the beginning. I'll make even more next week.
But soon, greed began to creep into his heart. One evening, as he counted the money, he said,
If I mix some herbs and grass, the jam will be thicker. I can make double the jars.
Mary looked shocked.
Herbs and grass? That's not safe.
John waved his hand.
It won't hurt anyone. No one will notice.
Tom frowned.
Dad, please don't. It won't taste the same.
But John didn't listen. The next batch of jam looked darker and smelled strange. At first, customers bought it as usual, but soon people began to complain. One woman said,
This jam doesn't taste like before.
Another frowned.
It smells odd.
John shrugged.
It's just new fruits.
At home, Mary said,
You see? They can tell something's different.
John frowned.
They'll get used to it. I know what I'm doing.
One evening, Tom was hungry. He took some jam from the jar and spread it on his bread. A few hours later, he clutched his stomach and shouted,
Mom! My stomach hurts!
They rushed him to the village doctor. After checking, the doctor said,
He must have eaten something spoiled.
John's face turned pale. A few days later, when Tom felt better, John said,
We'll make jam just like before.
Mary smiled. They went to the forest and picked only the best fruits. The smell of the new jam filled their small home again. On Sunday, they set up their stall in the market. People walking by stopped to taste the jam.
This is so delicious.
One customer said happily. Another smiled.
It tastes just like the old one. Maybe even better.
John smiled with relief. Moral: greed spoils everything.